I will be giving you a little bit of background of the 4 police officers that killed George Floyd, give you their personal records, and just a little bit of who they are and what have they done while working in the police force. Here we go.
Personnel records shed light on 4 Minneapolis police officers charged in George Floyd's death. Derek Chauvin, 44 years old, charged with second-degree murder in the death of George Floyd, worked in military police in the U.S. Army during his 2 years of active service, including a stint in Germany. He attended Park High School in Cottage Grove but did not graduate. After getting his GED, he attended Dakota County Technical College, Inver Hills Community College, and Metropolitan State University. Previous jobs include working security and food service, including at a McDonald's. Chauvin's 19-year career with the Minneapolis Police Department, where he was involved with several police shootings, includes both commendations and more than 15 conduct complaints. Almost all the complaints were closed without discipline, records show, suggesting the allegations weren't sustained. The nature of the complaints wasn't made public. There is a complaint in the file from August 2007 from a woman who accused Chauvin and another officer of pulling her from her car, frisking her and putting her in the squad car for going 10 miles per hour over the speed limit. Further investigation showed, redacted, did not have the audio on and the squad MVR tape had been turned off during course of stop. Tou Thao is 34 years old, charged with aiding and abetting a murder in the death of George Floyd. The 11-year veteran and native Hmong speaker from Coon Rapids first applied to the department as a community service officer following stints in food service and as a security guard. He was among those laid off 3 days before Christmas in 2009 as the police department faced a $13 million budget shortfall. Thao's work history includes 6 unspecified police conduct complaints. 5 were closed without discipline, but 1 was open at the time of his firing. Thao's police training records were not included in the personnel records released. Thao and another officer were the subjects of a 2017 police brutality lawsuit. Lamar Ferguson alleged that in 2014 the 2 officers told him they were serving a warrant for his arrest, then beat him, breaking his teeth, while he was handcuffed. The city of Minneapolis paid $25,000 to settle the civil rights case. The rookie officer was one of the first on the scene outside Cup Foods to arrest Floyd on Memorial Day, May 31, 2020. Thomas Lane, 37 years old, of St. Paul, is charged with aiding and abetting a murder in the death of George Floyd, detailed in charges as pointing a gun at Floyd before handcuffing him. Later, charges said he questioned Chauvin's restraint tactics twice during the encounter. Despite his concerns, he did not act to forcibly remove Chauvin from Floyd's neck. According to his work file, Lane is a University of Minnesota graduate who worked with at-risk youth as a juvenile detention guard and probation officer in the Twin Cities before applying as a police recruit at age 35. Application forms also list a litany of volunteer work mentoring Somali youth and school kids. J. Alexander Can, 26-year-old, charged with aiding and abetting a murder in the death of George Floyd, who, like Lane, received his law enforcement license last August. Can is of mixed race and identifies as an African American, according to someone close to him who asked not to be named. Can was captain of the varsity soccer team at Patrick Henry High School in Minneapolis, where he graduated in 2012. He also played for the Cruz Azul Minnesota Soccer Club, according to a soccer recruiting website. His file shows he attended the University of Minnesota, Minneapolis Community and Technical College and Monroe College, and is conversational in Russian. Kin's work history includes a job as security monitor at the University of Minnesota and working in loss prevention at Macy's. He also worked at Target, and he coached youth baseball and soccer at the Brooklyn Center Community Center.
Okay, what are your thoughts? Please leave your comment below. But before you leave your comment below, I want to say, whenever an officer has citizen complaints against him and he gets reprimanded for it, to me, he's a criminal too. Two of these officers have had numerous citizens complaints against them and were reprimanded for it. The last two look like this is their first time having a complaint against them. But anyway, either or, I just want to mention, when you look at a police's record, a lot of time the people have complaints against them because they did something wrong, and the police officer had to get reprimanded for it. So whenever that happens, they're a criminal too, because what police officers will do, they will spin a narrative and look at the victim's record and put it out to the public like the victim is the real criminal. It goes both ways. Anyway, thank you for watching. Leave a comment below. Bye.